Here we are once again, guys. We are just math, y'all. We are still finishing up our chapter 10. We are moving on to chapter 10, section 7 today. Section 7. And this is simplifying non-real radicals. So let's look at simplifying non-real radicals. Okay, so when you take the square root of a negative number, you use our imaginary unit that we call I, because I is equal to the square root of negative 1. Now, if you are a really fun YouTuber and you like cool stuff, you can YouTube some stuff about this and find out more where this came from. It's not really imaginary. It's just the guy that named it didn't really think about what was going to happen when he called it that. So, yeah. But anyway, it's called I, the imaginary unit, and it is equal to the square root of negative 1, and that's where it comes from. So we're going to do these. We're going to simplify these. And the only thing different that we're going to do is when we see the square root of negative 1, we're going to say that's an I. So here we go. The square root of negative 4, well, this is going to be the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 4. Okay? And so this is I. And then we know that this one is 2 times 2, and then the 2 gets out. And so we have 2 times I, which we just affectionately call 2I. That's it. Square root of negative 13, well, this is the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 13. And this is I. And the square root of 13 doesn't break. So that's it. And that's it right there. Now, technically, you can put the I after the radical, but just be very, very careful, because if you're you're typing it into the computer for one of your answers, you've got to make sure that that radical does not cover up that I. That I is out. That I is out of the house. So make sure it's not typed that way. Okay, one more over here. We've got this one will be the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 18. Okay, so that's my I. And then we'll do this one. That's 9 times 2, which is 3 times 3 times 2. The 3 gets out of the house. The poor 2 stay home. The I is already out. So we have 3I square root of 2. Just like that. So again, a lot of people just, make it really easy and just, hey, you see that? There you go. You see that? There you go. You see that? There it is. And that is basically what it boils down to. If you see the square root of a negative, you're going to put an I in your answer. Don't forget. Let's do a couple more. Looking at these two, we need to kind of think about the difference. Make sure you don't get confused. This is a negative outside. It is not an I. This is the negative inside. This is going to be the I. This one, we break this down. It's 3 times 9, so that's 3 times 3 times 3. 1 3 gets out, 1 stays in, and the negative is just out there. This one is the I. This is the I. And so again, we'll still have the same thing here. We'll still have 3 square roots of 3, but this time we have an I. So make sure you understand the difference. This one's going to give me 3I square root of 3. This one doesn't have an I. Okay. Now the next question is, do you need an I on a cube root? And the answer is no. Okay. The I's only for square roots and other even roots. This is not for anything other than square roots. So for this one, that is not a negative. When you do this, this is going to give me 4 times 4, which is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay? And it's got a negative in here. And you can bring the negative out, just a complete negative out. And that would be a 2 square roots of 2. Cube roots. My bad, cube roots. So this would be a negative 2 cube roots of 2. No I needed on cube roots. No I. Only on square roots. Okay? And, you know, I could explain that better, but not for this lesson. All right? So, hopefully this is not hard. Please practice this. It is very important. It is just a very slight change, but practice it. So I don't want you messing this one up. Okay.